All right, so no pressure, just the very first animation panel of the con. So anyway, I am Tune for Thought. I run a rather small animation YouTube channel where I do video essays on different topics that cross my mind. I consider myself a bit of an animation historian. I've looked at many cartoons from all different eras, and today I'm going to talk about the best current gen, as in 2020's cartoons that you haven't seen, because animation has been in a rocky spot for most of this decade so far. There's a huge surge of shows in the streaming boom, which was made even further boomed by the pandemic, but then all sorts of unprecedented media consolidation happened. Most of these shows were marketed because they were tech companies that didn't really know how to market these sorts of entertainment. And because streaming blew up, traditional distribution channels like cable died out, and they're still dying out today, meaning that their main means of monetization are pretty much also dead too, because streaming just inherently does not make as big a return on your money, at least by itself. And of course, they've used this power of cutting out the middleman to basically tightening all the leashes on the creative teams, and really doing all they can to make sure that everything has to somewhat match their agenda. Because of this, most of these shows are only one season long. Only get one season and that's it. Everyone has complained about that. Maybe two if you're lucky, or one production season split into two. And on top of that, what is produced has all these sorts of job creep, as many people are expected to take on like double or triple the work they've already been doing. Roles have been getting more and more outsourced. It's all just become a massive mess, and because of that, IPs have been relied on as a crutch. Now, not every show based on an existing show is bad, of course. This isn't speaking to the quality of them, but it is shown how most of what we're seeing these days is being greenlit because it basically does the marketing work for them. They don't really know how to monetize anything original anymore. Just because most of these shows are criminally short-lived doesn't mean they should be forgotten. I'm going to be talking about a handful of different areas where there's at least one cartoon that I think is deserving of attention to you guys. So I'm going to start off relatively tame with Disney Channel. We all know about Amphibia, Owl House, and the like. But along the same time, there are a few different shows that didn't get the attention it deserved. I'm gonna list a few honorable mentions to start with before I get to the main one I want to talk about here. Like Ghost of Molly McGee, that was a really good show, full of heart, full of energy, full of empathifying. And Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, aka the best thing ever. I consider it about as close to a perfect cartoon as you can get. Obviously, more than enough people have heard of that one for me to highlight it, but I wanted to bring it up here. Primos. Now, the internet was so ready to hate on this because of early bad impressions and just pulling on all the strings they can. So not enough people saw that the show was actually quite good, and talking about a very specific experience, and was full of creativity and likable characters. The soundtrack does slap, yeah, and that is why I decided not to highlight it here, because it has lived on through that one particular song that many people forget are even from this show. You know the one?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
I like thunder, and I like lightning, and I like evil, and I like frightening. And also, Haley's on it. Moving on. So
You're all right.
So anyway, but last year there's this one season wonder that kind of came and went with little fanfare, except for a very niche audience called StuGo. It was created by Ryan Gillis, and to describe the show, I am just going to read out for you the exact words of the theme song. StuGo, kids, mutants, science, tropical, summer camp, alligators, the ocean, adventure, laboratory, learning, pants, StuGo.
That's all you need.
So more specifically, it's about six kids who gets six overachieving kids who gets sent to what is supposed to be a summer camp, but is actually a front by an evil scientist. And most of the show is just kind of them doing her bidding, or just them getting in each other's throats. Now the main charm of this show, in my opinion, is just a certain manic energy and a sort of bite in its humor that most cartoons just don't get in this day and age, when everything just feels so softened. You can find all sorts of compilations on YouTube about just how far they're willing to go, and just how sharply written these kids are.
They chopped off a kid's arms. They did do that. We don't talk about it.
So here's one clip that I think gives you a pretty good first impression.
Oh, please don't let it be that one. Please don't let it be that one.
Coffee, anyone? I got the new bean devil from Java Pros. Here we are. What is going on? Big vibrations, semi-finals. One of you is going. Not long ago, I did my face on the moon. Now, the moon is like a bad tattoo. So, blindly, they erase me, I erase the moon. I'm painting it black. Genius. Unfortunately, instead of blacking out the moon, the rover is painting what I think can only be a butt. We don't have much time before the moon moons us all.
There's 20 episodes and 40 segments full of basically that.
Awesome.
Now Nickelodeon has a certain reputation. They canceled shows before their prime before it was cool. And they've also been through quite a few executive changeovers in recent years.
It's really a bad move, given how they don't have any IP that their competitors rely on. So you think that they'd be more stumbling down on anything new they could get their hands on.
Well, maybe they would if it wasn't for constant executive changes.
Yep.
But anyway, but despite all that, a few really good original shows did come under their watch this decade. Like Middlemost Post from SpongeBob storyboard artist John Trabick III, about a cloud delivering the mail. Has a lot of that SpongeBob energy.
Yeah.
It's Pony, a very British-minded show about a girl in the city and her pony. And I bet you forgot about this one.
I never even heard of that one.
Zoki of Planet Ruby, which didn't even air on Nickelodeon, actually it did air on Nickelodeon, but not until after it was dumped on Amazon Prime, of all places. It's about a girl who wants to be an internet personality, and their only viewer is this alien. Actually that is also from a SpongeBob storyboard artist, Frank Morante.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not mentioning that one. But let's see. But the show I want to highlight is one I've actually already talked about. Wylde Pak. This one is only like a year old, although it was in the works since at least 2013, and it's went through so many different iterations. I recently made it If any of you for some reason watch my channel, you'll know I've made a video on this and it inexplicably blew up to like 11,000 views, which doesn't seem like much, but it's by far the most I've ever gotten on the video, so I'm glad to spread the word on this. But to not repeat myself too much, it's about a Korean American blended family where the half son Jack must live with them for the summer, and all sorts of shenanigans unfold. It can be really zany when it wants to be, and really heartfelt when it wants to be. Here's a clip from a particularly special episode that we were very lucky to get when it did. That's the Grandma How Many. It's from Jamfield did the visuals.
Ramen sounds good right about now. Hey, Mom.
Out of ramen.
No food is safe with kids in the house.
Thank you, man, for picking that clip for my video. That big ass nose.
Guess better add that to the list.
You smell that? Fresh tracks. They couldn't have gotten far. Let's go. Hey, Oma, what you got there?
Yeah, I'm convinced that is the last time we'll get a show that good on kids cable, so enjoy it while you can. Speaking of dying cable, hang on, can I go forward here? Cartoon Network. A tragedy in 3 words, because one disastrous merger led to another disastrous merger and possibly another disastrous merger if the state AGs let it.
Also, R.I.P. Ted Turner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is right by his legacy too. Because of all that's happened, there's not all that much to talk about with Cartoon Network this decade, because a lot of it's just them struggling to figure things out. Although a few cool things came out of it. I mean, there's Elliot from Earth. This show from a lot of the Gumball people. It only lasted 16 episodes, and production was apparently a big mess. So that's why that was so short-lived. But what the merger did kill was close enough. Yeah, that companion show to regular show, which somehow managed to get past development hell and managed to get Simpsons writer Bill Oakley on. Apparently there were plans to go further than 3 seasons, but not only did they get purged, but they actively halted the 4th season that was already in production.
We are getting a new show by Clint Howard.
Yes, Super Mutant Magic Academy, I think. That is airing on Adult Swim, but it's technically considered Cartoon Network Studios.
It's like half.
But speaking of, in all the stuff that got purged off, and all the stuff that got canned, one original managed to slip through the cracks and managed to survive for a season on Adult Swim. Invincible Fight Girl. A super anime inspired shonen of sorts about a girl who wants to be a wrestler in a world full of wrestling, but her destiny is to be an accountant. So in her journey, she comes across all sorts of colorful characters as she tries to find her groove, including including this tough guy, well, who looks like a tough guy, but is actually 8 years old, called Mikey. And in this clip I'm about to show you, you'll see how well it captures the vibe of analyzing in a wrestling setting, while also having some truly badass visuals. Also, yes, he's fighting someone named M. Brandon because they're all named after M, but they ran out of M names.
Right leg. Coming down, forward momentum. The second he attacks will be off balance. Andy, slip to the right and toss him. Wait on the left leg. Off balance again. Catch his leg. Trip the other one. Time for round two. Just like Mikey said. Again. Over here.
Unbelievable. Just a minute ago, she was on the ground, barely conscious. And Mikey, this confidence you found, is this all because of her? This accountant? I can't believe I'm saying this, but both of you have impressed me! There's no way! Could have Brandon actually lose? These two working together, they're amazing! They're incredible! They're gonna make me rich! She's pushing her body to the brink! No, she's pushing past it! She's breaking through her limits! If she can do that, then maybe I can. Andy!
That's Mr. Krabs voicing the father, by the way.
You guys think strength is everything, but it's nothing if you're not fighting for something that matters.
You're impressive for a kid. But you still got a lot to learn. Like how to recognize a trap!
It's a setup. Andy, look out!
Yeah, this show can get quite intense, but man, do I love how it's directed. I feel it's a real shame we only got 10 episodes out of that, but hey, that's 10 more episodes than we could have gotten in the worst timeline.
Yeah.
Speaking of Adult Swim, speaking of Adult Swim, obviously Adult Swim is full of underground hits, so like I can obviously talk about YOLO or something, but anyone who's into Adult Swim knows what that is. So anyway, I'm going to talk about something that the typical Adult Swim crowd wasn't attached to. Imagine this as a title. Oh my God, yes, a series of extremely relatable circumstances.
Oh, yes.
So this takes my vote for the most overhated show on here. It's not exactly high art. It's on the surface it takes a lot of the typical adult cartoon mold. A lot of swearing, a lot of sex jokes, a very nonsensical structure, a lot of gross imagery, a lot of inappropriate imagery. But here's the thing. How much do you see this formula done with women, and let alone black women? Which to me is a significant distinguisher, because let's be real, that part of seeing these experiences be told is to see them in classic formulas. You do have to give it credit for a lot of the creative ideas they have in the cyberpunk setting, and also the visual ambition on display. Also, it was the second cartoon, I believe it was the second Western cartoon created by a black woman too. Yeah. The first one being Janice Burgess on Backyardigans, which was like 20 years ago. So, which kind of goes to show you how few opportunities this has, and why each one we get should be cherished, even if it's something like this.
One fresh uterus, please.
This is okay, sperm. S-B.
Also, that's Cree Summer, who is voice director.
Sperm. S is in Sam, P is in pistachio.
We get it. I was told you guys routinely receive uterus donations.
You were told wrong.
Hello there. So, where do we want this pack of routinely delivered uteruses?
All you care is sperm.
Miss Grumpy Top Receptionist, may we please have one? My friend here is ready to have a baby, and the father is not only incredibly wealthy, he once juggled 37 balls in one night.
You seem like the last person on earth who should be colored moms.
Wow, that bullet just conspired in my favor. Asshole.
When I showed it to a friend, they said it was perfect 3 a.m. Adult Swim fare, and that's about the best way to describe it. But staying on the Warner Media and HBO Max, now they've obviously been specializing. Apart from the two I've already mentioned, they've been specializing in a lot of adult animation fare. There's two honorable mentions here. Did you know that that Mexican film I Am Frank Gota had a prequel series? And yet inexplicably the movie is releasing on Netflix soon. But yeah, this was a really cool anthology show. And Scavenger's Reign. Now that's by no means an obscure show, but goddamn it, not enough people watch it. Never enough people watch it, even though every person, including Gooseworks, has endorsed it like hell.
Please watch it. My studio worked on it.
Which studio was that?
I work for a studio called
Green Street?
No, they outsourced to us. Where
Did it get common side effects?
we're a Polish studio. We work with a lot of the French side of things, but they got out. Some of the work got outsourced for us.
Yeah.
Serendipity.
But yeah. Anyway, I wanted to bring up Scavenger's Reign because it is quite possibly my absolute favorite animated show of all time. But anyway, a decent companion to that would be this other one that came and went, Fire on Mars. Pretty much intentionally buried by HBO and came as part of the transition from HBO Max to just Max. It's about this worker named Jeff, who is part of this big office environment on Mars to help colonialize it. But he gets laid off in typical corporate action, and the rest of the show is just him figuring out what the hell to do from there. Obviously, scattered clips can't really do this kind of thing justice and how well directed it is. So I'm just going to show you the trailer that they dropped 3 days before release.
The thing is, I left my entire life behind so I could be a graphic designer on Mars. A frontier town on the edge of the known universe. This was where we planted our flag. This was where we would write our next chapter. Every last one of us up here for a reason. I was living my passion. And more importantly, I was part of something bigger. Good to see you. Hey, how are you today?
Good morning, my friends.
Awesome to finally meet you, Jeff. We're actually making a few tweaks to the structure there.
We're putting your job on hold. It seems like maybe this could have been sorted out before sending me to Mars. What am I supposed to do now? We're gonna need you to trust the process on this one, bud. As important as my project and the research have been, this is actually a good time for me to press pause. Get a change of perspective. Maybe a hair more structure. Ni hao. My name is Jeff. Wo Zhao, Jeff.
You gotta understand this place in terms of a battleground. No matter how peaceful it might seem, there's always a war being fought beneath the surface.
If we find water, we could leave him. Join us, Jeffrey.
We must soothe by any means necessary.
What's happening, spaceman?
You can't stand it, bro! Jesus, Jeff!
Mars needs swagger.
You ready to be my true blue go-to guy?
It's just like well-behaved men rarely make history.
Get out of here, you robo bitch. Whoa, you're my slip of play is play. When I actually think about what we've accomplished, it's just like,
Honestly, if you want some good animated sci-fi dramas, that Scavenger's Reign and Pantheon, which was on AMC, got written off, but got rescued by Netflix, is a good unofficial trilogy of them. Speaking of Netflix, oh boy, the maker and breaker of streaming. Where do I even begin here? I could talk about Kid Cosmic, which was Craig McCracken's most unique series, and actually managed to see it through but it got basically ignored outside his inner circle because of the marketing problem I mentioned. I could talk about Dead End Paranormal Park and its unique teen-oriented demographic and the way it depicted autistic and trans people. I could talk about Gentry Child versus the Underworld, a somewhat clunky but very badass show about legends, myths, and monsters. Or I could talk about the overhated Q Force as well. A show that got killed by its marketing and people being judgmental. Or I could also talk about this weird one-off show, Carol and the End of the World, a very introspective series about the world, about the end, and a woman navigating through it. But the answer I found came to me through The Gliding Gladiator.
Oh, well, it's Jake's mind palace now.
Jake's Mind Palace. Anyway, it was Jake who gave me the answer on what to cover for Netflix here.
Oh.
City of Ghosts. Created by Adventure Time alumni Elizabeth Ido, and really was helmed by a lot of Adventure Time people. Pendleton Ward even helped on one episode. It's about a group of kids who make a little documentary series about the different places in LA they encounter that happen to have ghosts around. And the ghosts always have interesting cultural stories to tell. It's the culture that really is the beating heart of the show. It loves to talk about the many different types of people who inhabited LA throughout history, and how their traditions still live on. It got a criminally short 6 episodes, none of which are even 20 minutes long if you count the credits. And despite it, I think it won a Peabody Award or something.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth has been eternally bitter about it since, as anyone would. It's very lo-fi, as a lot of Adventure Time type shows are.
I'm Nancy Sekizawa. They call me Atomic Nancy. I used to run a cafe ran by my parents called the Atomic Cafe.
Why do you call it the Atomic Cafe?
My dad was pretty rebellious, and this was some of the questions that a lot of interviewers asked me. And I said, well, Dad, how come we call it the Atomic Cafe? Well, it's because nobody forgot about the atomic bomb, so nobody should forget about our food too. At first, the sign that we had didn't just say Atomic Cafe, it had a right on top of the neon. And the community kind of got a little like, gee, Matula-san, is that a little harsh? And he didn't want to take it down, but finally he says, okay, but I'm not going to take the sign down, I'm not going to change the name. I think the JA community that were put into camps.
You went to camp?
Well, it wasn't like summer camp. My family got sent to internment camps. And we were ridiculed a lot, and even I was too, when I was going to school. I hated history because when we get to World War II, I just felt that discrimination, like we were the perpetrators. I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere.
Every episode has a story about as raw as that. It really gets a lot of mileage out of just having 6 of them. So moving on streaming services, let me be honest. How many of you have actually watched an animated thing on Apple TV that isn't Peanuts?
Oh, right here. Right here.
Yeah. What? Huh. Yeah, well, but yeah, a lot of Apple TV's animated shows are very PBS light, in that a lot of them are based on books or other famous children's characters.
That's the majority of why I watched it, is because my baby brothers growing up, I was kind of forced to watch it. It kept them in place because they love the stories, like Room on the Broom. Yeah, that should be Apple TV. Room on the Broom. Another one. Yeah, sorry.
But anyway, yeah, they did do an adaptation of Harriet the Spy, and it expands on the book in a really engaging way. And there's also Shape Island. Think Peep in the Big Wide World if it was written by regular show writers. And there's also this one that released, like, I think a couple weeks ago, My Brother the Minotaur. I saw a couple episodes of that. That looks really cool. I'm mostly bringing it up because it's from Cartoon Saloon, objectively the best animation studio in the world right now. And on the adult end, they also did the version of Strange Planet. That was very appealing to my autistic brain, who likes to speak things in a specific dialect. But during my search, I found one that I didn't see really anyone talk about. Wolfboy and the Everything Factory. I saw literally no one among my circles talk about this one. But it's about a neurodivergent boy who ventures into a world of sprites, and where all the different elements of the world come from. And he pals around with Sprout, a happy-go-lucky plant sprite, and Zandra, a tough but emotionally vulnerable guardian sprite. And now this looks like a cute show, and it is a very charming one too. But would you believe it has themes of war in it?
I'm in.
Want to request a story? Of course. What'll it be? I'd like to hear the story of the great betrayal.
Hush now. Good choice, Sandra. A decade ago, the world was in turmoil. The wicked disarrays were growing more dangerous and destructive by the day. Their chaotic ways threatened the very existence of the world we sprites worked so hard to create. Rather than lose hope, brave guardian sprites, like Sandra's parents, stepped up to save us. They led the charge in a heroic attempt to rid the world of disarrays for good. The Guardians fought valiantly for all those who could not fight. They used every ounce of their strength to push the disarrays back. But just when they were on the brink of victory, they were betrayed by a sprite named Nix. Nix's might was only matched by her malice. She fought with the disarrays against her own kind. Her treachery turned the tide of the battle, and the disarrays escaped. The war was won, and Nix was banished for her crimes, imprisoned forever in the disarray realm. But the damage was done. Two very brave sprites were lost that day.
A little corny, but damn does it hit. So yeah, this show just utterly charmed me, which it was a really pleasant surprise in scouring around my discounted subscription. So I recommend you check this one out. But how about we turn to the stuff that was too good for the U.S. to get? Now, international cartoons, apart from anime, I mean, everyone on Twitter was talking about Belfort and Lupin for a while. I haven't watched it, but I heard it's gay.
Love that. We love gay.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And there's also Viking School, also from Cartoon Saloon, which was distributed by Disney in Europe, but we never got it in the US for some reason. Disney's finally starting to give us some of their actual international shows. Like they're giving us Dragon Striker from France next month, so maybe this will one day have its time in the light. But there's also this other one that a Discord friend told me about. Doodle Girl from Studio Miyala. It's a very slice of life show that's just about a little girl who's a doodle who doodles around the canvas around her and solves people's problems. It's obviously made for young kids, and I'm not going to act like it's going to beat down Bluey anytime soon. But for this type of show where quality is a mixed bag, this has a lot of charm to it.
Right, Pencil. It's time for us to get a start on the day. By the looks of this field, there's some drawing to be done.
Really good.
There we go. This flower's a nice stars.
Phoenix.
Maybe it's not our best drawing pencil, but I don't think it's bad enough to be crying about. Oh, the crying isn't coming from you. Who is it then? Oh dear, those boys seem like they're having a rough time. Hi, I'm Doodle Girl, and this is my friend Pencil. Is everything alright?
A fan, quick, pause! Oh, I'm too sad to smolder. You've seen right through us, Doodle Girl. As I'm sure you know, we're the world's hottest new boy band. Drawn together. Drawn together. I'm Ryan, the funny one.
This is great.
And that's Niall, he's the sweet one. Xavier's our mysterious rebel, Enchanté. And last but not least, Paul.
Which one are you?
The fourth one.
Why were you all crying earlier?
Well, we're meant to have a concert here today, but as you can see, it definitely doesn't look that way. Oh, there's none of the stuff we usually need to put on a show. What are we gonna do?
Well, we're quite good at making things happen. Check this out.
Oh, wow! A flower! Incredible. It's the most beautiful thing I, or anyone, has ever seen.
Thanks. We can help you draw everything you need for your concert.
Thanks, Doodle Girl.
So if you can track it down, it's worth your while. But so if Studio Miala rings a bell in any way, they did after this do assistance work on 2 other projects that you may have heard about.
Oh.
I think they're doing well. Yep, so all right, so when the studios have failed us, you know where we turn to now? Indies. No clips to show of these, but a whole bunch of projects that are more worth your while to check out. We all know the glitches and the Helliverses, but there's also the 3 Tones by Brianna and the Vikas.
Pilot out now.
Yep, it's pilot out now. It's about the crowdfund next month. And there's also Hey by True for Tariq. It is crowdfunding right now. He is cooking hard on it. Fund it, yeah.
In 3 days.
Then there's Loki IRL by Pan Pizza. Port of the Sea, and also for more industry talent, there's Port of the Sea by Jordan Whitman. Guys Next Door by a couple Futurama writers. Failing Upward from Wylde Pak Studios, who is also at Momocon. There's also Olive Brace by Gerard Prince. That's a very underrated one. Really, there's a whole bunch you can take your pick from, and I recommend you look up all of these. But as for me, I am finished, and hopefully I've helped you look up a new favorite out of everything.
Awesome.
Is there anything you think? I'd like to ask if there are any you think I've missed.
If I remember correctly, this one was like something called like Pretty Please I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that one in the indie pile, but that one was too popular for me to mention here.
One from Europe, it's
Oh,
Metal Family? I don't know that one.
Metal Family. Yeah, it's a whole series that they finished.
That one's
In the animation. Or check it out. It's very good. It has 2 seasons out.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It is good.
Teenage Euthanasia was okay.
Yes.
No, I think it's kind of popular, but I haven't really seen it around my areas. But the indie show that I really mess with is Bridge Kids. It is so funny.
I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's so great.
There was that sci-fi show. Magical Girl Friendship Squad. That was
Oh yeah, that one. I didn't watch it, but I have friends who did.
There's me and my genie.
No.
That's indie.
FY.
Any others worth noting? It doesn't have to be indie, just a hidden gem that you think I neglected to talk about.
World.
Oh, Centaur Portal.
That one might have been an honorable mention if I actually watched it.
Royal Crackers.
I never wanted to watch that.
I recommend.
There's one called Super Robot Brothers. That one's good.
What?
Super Robot Brothers. That one kind of slipped through the cracks.
I don't know that one.
Welcome to the Wayne from Nickelodeon.
Yes!
I would have mentioned that, but I'm specifically talking about shows that premiered from 2020 onwards, so that couldn't make the cut.
This one I don't remember if it premiered in 2020, but it was around that area. Who likes World of Darkness stuff?
What's that?
I think it's a game.
You like spooky horror stuff? There's Hunter the Parentine, made by the same lunatic who gave us What If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech program. It is actually recently getting really good.
Also, we got to mention Power Not Normal, made by Kian Carlisle.
Oh yeah! That one.
There's also Cyclops from the company that brought us Long Legs.
True.
Was that Adult Swim?
Yeah, it was Canadian.
I still feel like not enough people watch Tuca and Bernie. I'll just say that.
I mean, you're right.
Too many people didn't give it a chance. It was so good.
Midnight Gospel.
Oh yeah, that was Penn Ward, wasn't it? Yeah.
They got Haunted Hotel on Netflix too.
Oh, that show's good.
I know. I have friends who really like that show. I couldn't watch past a certain point for multiple reasons.
Oh, very much. It's a good show, though.
I'm sure it is, but I don't know.
Going off the Apple TV on Frog and Toad.
That's here's the thing. If there is a one non-Peanuts Apple TV show people heard of, it's that one.
Even then, like
Also, I don't really like the animation in that.
I'm still very salty about Cuphead.
People definitely knew about that one.
That one hurt a lot.
Question. Self-promotion, please. I need your YouTube channel.
Woo! Yeah! Let's go back to the first slide.
You got it, yeah.
Systematically. Let's do it all again in reverse.
Let's see. Tune for Thought, as in the number 4. You can find me at that on YouTube and what few socials I still have.
Good panel.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you for coming, and thank you for getting Momocon off to a great start.